is closing inside this candle. So if you got a candle that closed inside of a candle, what does that look like? What does that mean, y'all? This candle is inside of this candle. I saw somebody marker disappear once. How you do that? Losing momentum? Nope, that means it's consolidating. What it does on a higher time frame, it also does on a lower time frame. So if we go to a 1 minute and you look at a candle that's inside of a candle from a 5 minute, it's just consolidating. You got to remember, inside of this candle, it's 5 candles when you go down to the 1 minute. And then you got to think of how many candles it is when you go down to 1 second. There's a whole bunch of candles in here. So it actually broke and closed underneath. So that's telltale signs of bullish or bearish activity, because it's still closing lower. And we got a gap down here now because of this candle. So our gap up here has been respected so far. And there is a new gap here, which means what? Price needs to come and grab this. And then if it's going to grab that, it might as well grab this. And then if it's going to grab this, then it might as well grab this. That's the kind of thing that you got to line up together to make it make sense, because it wants to go for highs and it wants to go for gaps and one that goes for lows. So which one is it closer to? Basically, is what you consolidating for the next big push? You could say that, because just like we saw here, consolidated, broke up, broke down, come back, retest, and shoot down. This is overall perspective. If you're looking at it on a 30 minute, but we're looking at it on a 5 minute. But the 5 minute is not different from the 30 minute. It's just 5 minute candles instead of 30 minute candles, which means that it can literally do the same exact thing. Consolidate, break up just for the fake out, break down, come back and retest. Everything that happens on one time frame happens on other time frames. That's why we're able to trade on whatever time frame we want to, because price does the same exact thing. I know that you were talking about head and shoulders and stuff like that before. To make it make sense, you can see a head and shoulder on a 30 minute, and you can also see a head and shoulder on a 5 minute, even though they're 2 different time frames, because price does the same exact thing on all time frames. Price is, or the time frames is basically just your time. How long is it going to take to make a head and shoulders on a daily versus how long is it going to take to make a head and shoulders on a 1 minute? Head and shoulders going to be on each one. It's just the time it takes to create it. Good morning, Framing Machine 3950. What's going on? We're consolidating in this area right here. We got entries right here. Change that to green too. And I'll make it dotted right there, just so it's easy to see. So far, it's respecting this previous gap over here. So far, we got about 1 minute. So if it closes above, then it's...
Somebody say, hey, what's your alarm clock? My passion. My dreams wake me up. I don't need no alarm clock.
Now, how does it feel to achieve such success?
I've never really viewed myself as particularly talented. I view myself as, slightly above average in talent. And where I excel is ridiculous, sickening work ethic.
Yo, it's your boy Young Cash giving shout out to AcesBlackstar. You already know what it is. CEO, boss man, AC Music. We out here.
Being disrespectful. And it's just consolidating. It is Friday, like I said before. Fridays like to play around, lollygag. And also, this is what you would just call noise. At the end of the day, this is putting yourself through so much mentally to where you don't even want to do this anymore. Because all you're doing is looking at candles, trying to determine what it's going to do, where it's going to go. And that's a lot of mental stress. So if you just bumped it up to 30 minute, we wouldn't have saw none of that on a 30 minute. We would have just said, oh, it came up and retested this big gap that was here because price was here. And this is where the previous candle is because there's a gap here. All of these are just points of interest because it closed through these on the 30 minute. So if we're looking at this as the last point of interest, 30 minutes, we come down to this, see that this is the first candle that it closed over the zone, broke out, broke that, came up, retested, shot it down. Y'all, that's something else. It's multiple confirmations that you can use with these things once you learn how candles work. But I say all of that to say that if you were looking at a 30 minute, you wouldn't have saw all that noise. All you would have saw was one candle going up and now it's coming back down. That helps with your psychology. Looks like US might be getting some power. I'm looking at EU and it's dropping and we are in EU trades right now. What else? Strong sales on the 4 hour. That's what we like to see. I want to close these trades I got with at least 37K or 35,000. That's what I'm shooting for based on percentages. Bless you. What do I have written at green up top? Run stops. Basically grab liquidity. That's another word for it. Run stops is like, hey, somebody put their stop loss here for the sale. It came up, came down, got people happy. And then right here at 9:30, it shot up, took those stop losses and went down. For all the people that was in sales here, took their stop loss here, gave it momentum to push down. That's why it has so much power, because it grabbed the liquidity or it ran stops, took these highs out. These highs were pretty even highs. That's why price came up here, because of these highs. It didn't just come up here because 9:30. If that's the case, then every 9:30 it would have the same move. So it's not the time. You got to learn why the candles did it. And when it does it, you have to just use your context clues and ask yourself, hey, why did this price come all the way up here? That's because there was equal highs over here and it needed to run those highs. So like I said, price looks for these gaps, fair value gaps, and it looks for liquidity, which is equal highs and just a whole bunch of highs in one spot. All of these highs were in one spot. These 30-minute, all of these are 30-minute candles. They were all just stopped right here in this area. That means it's a lot of stop losses here because a lot of people was placing orders. Oh, sell. They sold. They got a little happy. Came up. They was in drawdown a little bit. They said, oh, this is the entry. They get in again, put their stop losses probably right above here because of this. It didn't come back and break it or nothing like that. So they say, hey, this is a high. Or if you're looking all the way back here, this might be your higher high. And then this is your higher low. And then this is your high. And then it starts to trickle down to make the low. So basically, in a nutshell, it grabbed everybody's stop loss right there. That's why it shot up. And that's why it shot down. It shot up to grab these. It shot down because it had power now. And we're coming back down. This ran those stops again. Shot back down. But you see, this candle is within this candle. This white candle right here is bigger than this orange candle. That's what you call consolidation. It's inside this candle range. Price doesn't know where it want to go yet because it's still in the range. All right. So love to interact with the chat. So if you're watching live and you have something to say, go ahead and drop it in the comments. Other than that, if you're looking for a group of people that's going in the same direction you're going in, make sure y'all tap into the Boss of What community on Telegram. The link is in the description. If you want 100% trading credit on your first deposit and same day withdrawals, the link to the Forex Broker I trust is below. I know some of y'all Forex brokers or some of y'all brokers that y'all with like 24, 48 hours, 72 hours a week. We got same day things going on over here. And you can ask even my brand new people cashing out and receiving withdrawals within 3 minutes. Literally 3 minutes, not hypothetically. I'm talking about 3 minutes to the email timestamps with the receipts. So we got the best broker out here. And it's A-book. I don't know if y'all know anything about it. Does anybody know anything about A-book brokers and B-book brokers? Do y'all know the difference? Have y'all ever even heard of the terminology? All right, look like it's getting some momentum. Coming to the downside. We should be getting back to our entries. A little bit of drawdown. All right, now we should be back profitable. If you got in right at that point, let's go back to the 15. I don't want to look at all of that noise. Leave the noise, just give me the profits. Remember what I told y'all about lows. Price wants to grab lows. Let's grab these lows. And then this is the middle. Check it for AC hand on the shoulder. Black Star make a real don't wanna hear shoulder. So if you with it, AC baby, go and do the most. Bring that over here, go and bend it over. Check it for AC hand on the shoulder.